Good evening, this is BelGeode, and we are back once again with some more Aerofly FS2. And tonight, I want to show you the new and improved Switzerland. First of all, very huge, massive thanks to Orbx for undertaking this project and giving it to us for free. That is right, folks. If you happen to have the Switzerland add-on for Aerofly FS2, Orbx now has what they call the cultivation package, which allows you to basically upgrade Switzerland. So what you're looking at here is basically Switzerland on steroids, and this is amazing. So I figured for our test run here, we would go back to a place that should be familiar to those of you who have been watching the Aerofly FS2 series that I've been doing. This is where we ended up when we did our last flight through Switzerland, and this is Buochs, or maybe it's pronounced Buochs. I still don't know for sure, but I'm just going to call it Buochs. If I'm wrong, I'm sure you all will correct me in the comments. But yeah, this is the infamous airport that was utilized as part of the James Bond movie Goldfinger, and this is also one of the homes, if you will, of Pilatus aircraft. This is like one of their main testing facilities here. So what are we going to be doing tonight? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's go ahead and pull up the navigation page and I will explain to you where we're going and what our route is going to consist of. Okay, so we are in the navigation view here in Aerofly FS2. I will remind you I'm in VR, so you'll notice there's absolutely nothing around except this window in front of me. But it'll still give us our route, so as you can see, we've got a number of airports that we're going to be passing. My apologies in advance. I do not know how to correctly pronounce a lot of these, so I'm probably going to be butchering them. But I can tell you that we are starting out here in the northeast corner over at Buochs, and we're going to be traveling to Bern, Switzerland, which from my understanding is also one of the airports that Orbx has updated. We're going to see just how well they did. But just to give you an idea of our route, we are going to be heading that way, so pretty much towards the west. We're going to take off on runway 25. And we're going to go over this little lake here, past Alpnach, and how do you pronounce that? Cogswil or Cogswil? I have no clue. But we're just going to go with that. We're going to continue heading southwest till we get to Meiringen, and then we're going to go over this lake. And unfortunately, I did not look up in advance what the names of all these lakes are. So if you happen to know, maybe you can tell me in the comments. But I do know that we are going to pass Interlaken, which seems like an appropriate name because it's in between two lakes. Hey, that works for me. Then we're going to get a little bit crazy here. I want to see if Piz Gloria has been updated any. I know that they put a helipad in there, but I don't know if IPACS was the one who updated it or Orbx was the one who updated it. Needless to say, it's kind of up there. We are in a Cessna. I really don't know if we're going to be able to make it up that high, but we're going to try it anyway. This could end in a horrible, flaming disaster. Let me just warn you from now. But we're going to give it a shot. Maybe we'll get up to like 9,000 or at the most 10,000 feet. Much higher than that, and we're probably going to run out of oxygen. And, of course, a Cessna 172 is not pressurized and usually doesn't have oxygen bottles. So, this is going to be interesting. But as you can see, there's that glacier right there. I'm thinking, according to the relief map that I'm looking at here, there might be a little path that we can take through here. I don't know. We're going to have to examine it and see if we can pull it off. Like I said, could be a very short video. But provided that we live through it and we come back into this valley here, we're going to pass, what is that, Reichenbach? And then we'll hit this lake here and basically just follow the river all the way up to Bern, and that is, of course, our destination. I'm loving how everything looks like it's built up here, and I'm really looking forward to see if Orbx did, in fact, build up all of these areas. And especially since this is Switzerland, you know there's going to be little chalets in the mountains, so that is going to be the real litmus test here. We're going to see if Orbx has included all of that good jazz. But now you have an idea as to where we're going. It's probably going to be a little bit longer of a video, more than likely around an hour or so. If need be, I will edit it a little bit so that, you know, you're not sitting here past an hour. All right, but with that having been said, let's head into the cockpit. we'll get this puppy started, and we're going to take our good buddy Pam, our pilot, or co-pilot, as the case may be, for a ride to Bern. All right, so before we start up, I just want to remind you this is Aerofly FS2, which means when you hop into your plane, it's already on. But for the purposes of this video, I would like to do a full cold and dark startup, or at least as much as I can remember, because it's been quite some time since I've actually been in a real Cessna 172. And you'll have to excuse my squeaky chair in the background here. Obviously it needs a little bit of WD-40, but we'll try to live with it here. Alright, so first things first, let's get our master switches on, and we'll probably also want our nav lights and our beacon light on. And I'm going to turn on the avionics. I know in some Cessnas you usually wait until after you've started to turn them on, but I don't recall there ever being an issue with my having it on now, provided of course I'm going to start really quickly and not like drain the battery. Okay, so everything looks good there. Let me put on a fuel pump. Of course that's not modeled here in Aerofly FS2. You'll notice our fuel flow is still at 0, but I'm going to pull the mixture in here, and yeah, it's still at 0. Okay, not a problem. We'll turn that back off. Obviously we don't need it, but we're pretty much ready to start here. So I'm gonna kind of lean out the window here and go clear prop, and we'll get our magnetos on. Hey, look at that. Perfect start. That's great. That is great. Oil pressure's a little low, but it is coming up now. There we go. We're just past the minimums. We're waiting for it to get to the green. All right, so let me get our taxi lights on, and we'll leave the strobe and landing lights off for now, as well as the pitot heat. We'll turn on the pitot heat once we're ready to take off. Speaking of which, we're going to be heading to the west, and as you can see, we are currently facing pretty much north, or as close to north as we're going to get at this airport. So that means we're going to need a taxi all the way down there, turn around at the threshold of the runway, and head out in that direction. Then we're going to make like a pretty sharp right just to kind of clear that hill there, and then a left over the lake, and we'll continue on. But most of the flying in this Cessna 172 is going to be handled by my beautiful co-pilot Pam. So we're going to let Pam take over this seat, and we're going to put ourselves in that seat. And here's how we're going to do it. First, we're going to go to the outside view. Okay, and we're in, and you can see the ever beautiful Pam. She is going to be doing most of our flying. Pam, I'm going to turn your yoke on so that way you don't look as weird holding nothing. So there you go. Now you look pretty. All right. I'm going to open up our window here for our taxi, but before I can do that, I need to close the door. And I need to turn my head. I will remind you I'm in the Oculus Rift, so doing this kind of blind here. Alright, there we go. Remind me to close this window once we take off, otherwise that's going to affect our aerodynamic properties here. Oh, come on, door, close. Alright, and can I lock you? Yes, I can. Okay, good deal. Okay, I did notice that our parking brake is not on. I don't know why that is. Obviously, I forgot it, but you know what? We're not moving, so we're good to go. And of course there is no traffic, so we are going to taxi out. Miss Pam, if you will do the honors, please. And we're going to make a right here. Now I have to admit, this airport has changed, and in a good way. That I don't recall being there. That looks like Orbx's handiwork right there, as well as the tower and the various other structures that they have here. So very good job, Orbx. Looks like we've got some covered bunkers there for fighter jets. Also nice. I believe they had, what was it, Mirage 3s or something along those lines whenever this was used as like a reserve airbase. Or maybe it was an active duty airbase, who knows. But I only see 2 of them here, so I can't imagine that they had very many aircraft housed here as part of their military base. Okay, the trees look pretty much the same. These don't necessarily look like Orbx trees. I could be wrong. Maybe they are. But whatever the case, they're still 3D and they still look pretty decent. The models do look like IPACS models. Kind of wish I had that livery for the Cessna. That actually looks pretty cool. That might be an Orbx, yeah, that might be Orbx work there. I don't believe this is our turn yet, Pam. I think we're going all the way to the end. Now, as usual, since this is Aerofly FS2, water is not modeled. It is just straight orthophoto. I don't know if they have any concrete plans to actually implement water. I have not heard as much, but then admittedly I have not been on the forums for a while. I do know that they were working on what do you call it, sea traffic or marine traffic, but I haven't had the opportunity to check that mod out. When I do, of course, you will see it. Let's make our turn here. And we'll go past these little bunkers. I gotta admit, that looks kind of cool. Definitely looks cool. I have not seen that here before, so I imagine that's also an Orbx thing. Pretty neat. And look at all those houses, though. That is the part that really, really gets me. This area was basically devoid of any civilization, I guess you would say, the last time that we were here. But yeah, now it looks really cool. And I think they nailed the architecture here. All right, Pam, give me some brakes here, please. I noticed there's no hold short line, so we're going to kind of make our own. All right there is good. Do a quick traffic check. I don't know why I do this, because this is Aerofly and there is no traffic. Hopefully one day they will actually be able to implement that, whether it be, you know, AI traffic or actual players in the form of like a server or something like that. Again, I haven't heard any concrete plans as far as that goes, but it seems like Aerofly is chugging along, adding more features slowly but surely. So we'll keep coming back to this from time to time. Alright, before we take off though, Pam, I'm going to get in your personal space, so try not to freak out, okay? We are going to need our strobes on and our landing lights, and I'm also going to do the pitot heat here. Okay. While I'm at it, I should probably close this window here. There we go. That'll also make it a little bit more quiet in the cockpit. Alright, let's go to the outside view really quick, make sure everything is looking kosher, and then we can head on out of here. Okay, I think we're just about set to go, so let me drop flaps 1. We'll just confirm, yep. Flap is down on that side. Pam, let me see behind you here. Yep, looks like we've got flaps down on the other side. Squeaky chair, check. All right, let's rock and roll. It's all yours, Pam. Okay, so we will line up right about here. Now, I do notice a little bit of stuttering. I'm thinking that is probably because of the extra 3D objects in the area. I've tried to compensate for it a little bit, but there's only so much you can do. All right, Pam, we're looking good. Take us up, please. And away we go. Okay, we're in the green, and let's gently pull up. Very nice, very nice. Quick outside view. Oh yeah, that was a nice takeoff. I'm liking that. Alright, so we got some facilities over there. No clue what the heck any of that is. Now we are going to be using autopilot for a good bit of this, so I will need to set that up. I'm thinking once we get over by Piz Gloria, we're probably going to want to have our altitude somewhere around the region of 9,000 feet. We could probably go up to about 10,000, but I don't want to go much higher than that because, to be honest with you, we're going to run out of oxygen really quick. And last time I checked, the 172 is unpressurized, and I don't think we have any oxygen bottles. I don't want to do that to Pam. That would be bad. But yeah, you can already see the work that Orbx has put into this, and it is gorgeous. It's absolutely amazing. Well done, Orbx. Look at that. Got some buildings there in the hills. Wow, that is lovely. Isn't that lovely, Pam? Pam agrees. Pam says it's lovely. Okay, let's see if we can set up our autopilot here. I want to climb at about 500 feet per minute, so autopilot on. That should hold our pitch. And we're going to need to set our altitude hold to roughly about 9,000 feet. Go ahead and arm that. Turn the autopilot on, and we are stable at about 500 feet per minute. This is awesome. Now, as far as our lateral movement, let's see if we can turn ourselves around before we smack into this mountain here. I'm thinking a heading of about 220 should be fine. Take it away, Pam. And there we go. There is our first airport. Now, of course, since I don't have any notes for this, I can't tell you exactly what everything is, but of course, it'll be popping up below as a little pop-up there. All right, we're going to swing around this way. I do have one request for the IPACS crew. If you ever plan on updating this little moving map, this would be great to be able to see the actual names of the airport. If you look closely, you can see the ICAO codes or IATA codes, but you can't really see the names, so unless you know what the codes are. Alright, but we're going to take a quick look at it outside. One of the things you will notice is the airports that were improved upon by Orbx, they've also taken the liberty of adding helipads to, which should make a certain someone that I know from Helisimmer really, really happy. I thought about doing this with the Robinson R22 since that was the last thing that I showed you on the Aerofly series. However, it would simply take too long, and I don't think you all want to sit through a 2-hour video of us getting from here to Bern, so unfortunately that has to be cut from the plan. Alright, what's our altitude? We are only at 4,000 feet, so we've still got a good 5,000 to go there, Pam. Everything's looking good. I'm going to increase our throttle a little bit here. There we go. We are now going full throttle. We can take a quick look outside here. That is beautiful. That's one thing I will give Orbx credit for. They are the masters when it comes to placing 3D objects into the scenery. They're not perfect, mind you. Like if you look at that square down there, you'll see there's a building cutting into it, and I'm pretty sure that's probably not what it looks like in real life. But overall, I would say they usually get about 97 to 98% correct when it comes to the placement of the buildings. So I'm not going to take that away from them. That is a good job on Orbx's part. I'm just kind of wishing that something can be done with the water eventually. I don't know, like I said, what their plans are, but I'm pretty sure that when the time comes, IPACS will address it, and hopefully they will do a pretty bang-up job on it. Alright, quick check of our instruments here. We are at 4,700. So we're closing in on 5,000. I'm going to have us veer a little to the right. Okay, so far so good, and that should take us straight down the valley here past the lake. So we're doing good so far. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit on this map and see what we've got coming up. I don't think we're at Interlaken just yet. I think we've got a little bit of a ways to go to get there. But so far we're doing good. We've still got some decent speed. I might want to pull our vertical speed down just a touch. Right now we are at 400 feet per minute, so let's go down to about 300. There we go. That way we can maintain some airspeed. Now the mixture still is not working in this thing, so if I try to lean our mixture, it'll actually lower our RPM. It's not quite done right. It doesn't affect the EGT at all, which of course is something that we all know it should do. But we're gonna live with it for the time being. I think we should be good to go there. Alright, and let me take a quick scan ahead to see what we're gonna need to do. Yeah, we are going to need to veer a little bit to the left, so Miss Pam, pull us left about 10 degrees-ish. There we go, perfect. It's like you're a pro. Okay, you are a pro, I'll give you that. Pam knows what she's doing, folks. Alright, so we do have this little hill here, and then just past that there should be another lake. I believe that is a lake that we're looking for before we get to Interlaken. We do have plenty of time to get up to 9,000 feet, so I'm just going to hold this like this. And with any luck, we should be just high enough to get through where we need to get through. Otherwise, like I said, it's going to be a short video. But for now, let's take a quick look outside and adore the scenery. Okay, so we are pretty high up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off our taxi lights and landing lights. There we go. And we are gonna need to swing out to the right, follow that lake, and right in between those two lakes, that should be where Interlaken is. So Pam, let me see, what am I gonna let you fly here? How about a heading of about 260? That should do the trick. About 250, and then we'll correct. There's another little airport there. I'm thinking a little bit more there, Pam. Just a little bit more, if you don't mind. There we go. That'll put us right over the lake. Alright, so there we have another airport. What is that? Lima, Sierra, Mike from the looks of it. Of course, it'll pop up right below, so that way you know exactly which airport it is we're passing over. In the meantime, let's take a quick look behind us. It's beautiful, beautiful. That's one thing I have said before, and I will continue to say. when it comes to just the sheer majesty of VR flying, Aerofly FS2 has got it right. I will never take that away from them. They knew what they were doing when they put this all together, and it is still impressive to this day. Alright, how are we doing on altitude here, Pam? We're almost up to 7,000. Okay, so 2,000 feet more. How's our engine looking? Everything still appears to be in the green. Our speed is good. Just shy of 100 knots. And our RPMs, roughly around 2,500. Not too shabby. From the looks of it, it looks like these clouds are just above 9,000 feet. So it's kind of a good thing that that is our cruise altitude, because any higher than that, and this will no longer be a VFR flight. But look at those mountains. Wow. Now, I'll be honest, folks, I am not 100% certain if Orbx did anything to improve these mountains, or if these are still the same IPACS mountains that we've always had. My best guess is it's still the same IPACS mountains, but something about them looks a little bit crisper. If you remember the last time that we came through here, there were certain areas that looked a little bit patchy as far as the quality goes. Whatever the case, it looks like they've definitely made up for that this time. It looks stupendous. In fact, let's go back outside and check it out. Okay, we are getting a little bit closer to 8,000, and as you can tell, we're starting to lose some airspeed, so we're almost down to about 90 knots. So, once again, we're going to change our vertical speed. It says that we're actually at about 200 feet per minute, so you know what? I'm thinking that's probably where I want to be. It looks like it's automatically trimming itself, which is good. I'm okay with that. Can't really see it from here, but Interlaken is coming up. What I'll do is when we get there, I will go to the outside view, and that way you can see the airport as we fly over. But I do need to check our map really quickly. So let's zoom out on this thing. Okay, so once we pass Interlaken, we're going to need to make a very sharp left turn in order to get into the valley over by the Eiger, where Schilthorn, Piz Gloria is. And then comes the really fun part, trying to navigate all of that crap. You can see what's ahead of us, right? Yeah, how about that? Alright, so far so good. Just about at 8,000 right now. Another look at these beautiful Alps. I'm quite impressed. I'm really quite impressed. I wasn't really sold on Switzerland when I'd first gotten it. In fact, I was a little bit hesitant to show it to you because I thought that it wasn't quite ready for prime time. And I do understand it is literally the first DLC that was available for Aerofly FS2. So I can at least cut them some slack on that. But with that having been said, I'm really glad that Orbx has stepped in and basically finished it up. As far as I'm concerned, this is what it should look like. And even though we are having a little bit of stuttering because of the level of 3D objects that are present, overall I think it's a very good trade-off. I think that what we're seeing here is really what IPACS had originally intended. So kudos to Orbx for stepping up to the plate and helping out there. Look at that, you can see that town or city down there. Matter of fact, let's go back outside and check out Interlaken. Okay, so we have just passed Interlaken, and this is going to be our left-hand turn right here. So Pam, I need a sharp left, please. Oh, this is going to get interesting. I'm hoping we can make this turn here. Yep, it looks like we might be able to do it, but I'm going to need a little bit more turny-turny. That's what I like to call it. It is turny-turny. Don't judge me. Okay, so back off in that direction is Bern. If we wanted to, we could swing right and just simply follow the lake and then the river to Bern. But that's not the point of this video. I really want to show off some of these areas here. We can't really see Piz Gloria from here, but we're coming up to it. We can, however, see the impressive Eiger. That's directly ahead and off to the left. In fact, let's go back to the outside view really quick here and check it out. So below us is Schildhorn, and I'm pretty certain that our beloved Piz Gloria is on one of these peaks around here. I'm thinking it's a little bit closer, or is that it over there? I'm not 100% certain, but I will know it when I see it. Let's see, according to the map here, yeah, it should be off to the right-hand side. Alright, we'll be coming up on it really soon. However, the interesting part is going to be figuring a way around these mountains so that we don't end up crashing into just about everything here. It might be beautiful, it might be rugged, but it's also very dangerous. We're going to try and avoid that as much as possible. Alright, I am going to swing us a little bit to the right here. Okay, there's a little village just south, or just below Piz Gloria, and I think that is it right there. Pam, swing us to the right, please. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Yep. That would appear to be it, right there. See that little peak there where it's snowy on the back? That would be it. That would be it right there. Pretty awesome. Now, here comes the real question. Can we go around it? We are at 9,000 feet, so we might be able to make it. What I'm thinking, however, I may want to bring us up to 10,000. So let's see if we can do that really quick. 200 feet per minute up. There we go, 10,000. And we are armed. Okay, there it is. Beautiful. Alright, we are going to run out of real estate really, really quickly here. So we're going to need to swing a bit more to the right. So majestic. I love it. Definitely, if I ever get the opportunity to go to Switzerland, this is one place that I would love to visit. I mean, look at it. It's just so imposing, so remote, and so beautiful. Awesome stuff. Alright, now I need to figure out the best way for us to cut across here. Looks like there is a saddle in that ridge right where the lens flare is. We might be able to use that to our advantage. And that'll get us just past Piz Gloria. So let's head due west here. Look at that. We got a little cable car. That is awesome. We might want to check this out from the outside as well. First, let me line this up properly. There we go. Okay, right there is good, Pam. Right there. All right, and let's go outside and check out my favorite place in Switzerland that I've never been to. That is outstanding. I can't see it now, we've just passed it, but that is just absolutely amazing. I am going to have to try and come up here with a Robinson R22. Not quite sure how successful I will be, but we're going to attempt to pull it off at some point in time. Alright, and it looks like we're past the highest point that we need to be, so let's go ahead and bring her back down. Bring her down to about 7,000 feet. There we go. Let's set our vertical speed. And we're going to drop you down a bit. Nope, nope. It's still a little squirrely to utilize. There we go. There we go. Alright, so we're going to come down at 700 feet per minute. Pull the throttle back a little. So not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. We're going to try and stay out of the clouds while we're at it here. And I think I can do a little bit more of sprightly descent. So let's go to 1,000 feet per minute descent. That'll also give us some airspeed so we can make up for the lost time. Okay, and Miss Pam, we're going to want to go a little bit to the right here. There we go. I think that is Reichenbach below and ahead. We'll check outside in a moment here. Okay, so we are beginning our descent to Bern, so I'm going to want to drop us down even further here. I'm thinking about 3,000 should be good, and then we'll see how much lower we're going to need to go here. I have no clue exactly how high above sea level Bern is, but we're going to work with this. See if we can pull it off. I do know it's on the opposite end of that lake, so it's a little bit of a ways up the river. So we're definitely going to want to come down as quickly as we can. Let me drop our throttle a bit here. And look at that, there's a little marina down there. That is awesome. So apparently some work has been done on the water textures here, because I don't recall that ever looking like that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Alright, we might want a little bit more of a sprightly descent here. So we're at 1,000 now. Let's amp it up a notch here. 1,500 feet per minute, and I'm just going to put the throttle all the way idle, so we'll just kind of coast down the hill, so to speak. Man, this is just so gorgeous, though. Like, seriously, I know you're watching this and you're thinking, wow. I'm thinking, wow, and I'm flying it. This is really good. This is a vast improvement. 100% better than the original version that we've seen before. And like I said, man, leave it to Orbx to, you know, step up to the plate and turn this thing from about a 6 on a 1 to 10 scale to about a 9.5. I say 9.5 because nothing's perfect, but yeah, I can live with this. This is awesome. This is really incredible. Alright, as we are coming down, Miss Pam, do me a favor if you will, and kind of swing us a little bit to the left, maybe about 10 degrees-ish. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing the bulk of the flying for us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Pam. Get a better look at Pam. Pam's just awesome. Some would say it's a little bit freaky to have someone in here with you that looks almost lifelike, especially the fact that they can't really talk or, you know, respond to you. Me, I just go with it. I love it. I think it's funny as hell. So anytime you ever see me fly this Cessna, guarantee you I will be in this seat right here because I've got my lovely pilot. Alright, what are we looking like for altitude here? We are at just shy of 4,000, so I'm thinking 3,000 should be good. Let me zoom out and see what kind of an approach we're looking for at Bern. Okay, it looks like a straight shot in. So eventually we're going to need to get on the line, but since we've got that hill coming up, we may want to do another 10 degrees left. But now you can really get a good look. Tell me that is not just incredible. Once again, folks, Orbx has knocked it out of the park. In fact, let's go to the outside view and take a look at this. I am just constantly amazed at what can be done in the flight simulation community, especially when you've got competent developers working together to achieve a common goal. This is what it looks like right here, folks. This is exactly what it looks like. Okay, I do see our airport coming up. It is off in the distance, so let's see if we can get on the green line. I'm going to pull our power back just a touch here. And Miss Pam, I know you've been doing an incredible job flying, but I think I'm going to handle the landing here. Let me first see if I can line us up. A little bit more turny-turny, as I like to say. There we go. Alright, so straight shot. All I need to do is get us on the green line. Zoom in just a touch there. Looks like we do need to clear some hills on our way into Bern. Should be able to handle that. I'd say we're going to clear this hill here, so we're fine there. Once we get on the line, I will switch to manual flight and bring us in. So far, folks, I'm hoping that you've been enjoying this little journey. I have to say, this is a much improved Switzerland, and my purple hat goes off to both IPACS and Orbx for coming together on this one. Look at that. That is my kind of house right there. Got a little bit of land surrounded by trees and a little bit of a dip. Oh yeah, I would totally live someplace like that. That's great. Alright, we're closing in on the green line, and I can already see the VASI lights or PAPI lights for Bern. This is going to be a straight-in approach. Let's pull the power back a bit, and let's go ahead and turn off our autopilot. And already we need to trim up. Alright. My aircraft Pam, I will bring us in. Okay. Well, now comes the really, really fun part. Trying to land this thing without bouncing it 15,000 times. I make no guarantees, folks. No guarantees. Alright, but we're pretty much level here, and from the looks of it, the PAPI lights are telling us we are a bit low, so we'll kind of hold it here, just shy of 3,000 feet. And looks like I can do a flaps 1. Okay, and while I'm at it, let's see if we can get our lights back on. There we go. Now, under normal circumstances, I would also turn on the fuel pump. However, as we've already discovered, it's not modeled, so there's really no need to. I am, however, thinking that this line might not be 100% accurate. It is a little hazy off in the distance, so I can only assume that we are on our proper course, but we may need some last-minute adjustments here. Either way, I'm going to bring us down a bit. Really should be trimming for speed. So let's center up here and see what it does. Okay, we're getting a fairly decent rate of descent, about 500 feet per minute. And we're just at the tip of the flap range there. Might want to trim us up a little bit. That'll lower our speed, of course. And yes, now I can see that I am a little bit off to the right. Okay, looking good, looking good. Okay, folks. Next stop, Bern. Let's go outside for a moment. Alright, we're almost there. From what I can see of the VASI lights, it looks like we are just about on glide slope. I say that because in just about every flight sim in VR, it is a little bit difficult to see lights at distance. But I'm kind of feeling good about this. I do know that we should be coming in on the right-hand runway. I don't remember exactly what number it is, but I can judge from our heading it's probably about 31 or 32 right. I'm gonna go with 32 right. I think that sounds accurate. And I'm gonna give us one more notch of flaps. Of course, we're gonna balloon up a bit. Okay, flaps are down 2 notches. Fasten your seatbelt, Miss Pam. We're coming in. Alright, I don't want to come in too shallow here. Right about there is looking good. We do need to crab a little bit because the wind is coming out of the west. So that's going to give us a little bit of a crosswind component. Should be able to compensate for it. We're just shy of 2,000 feet, so if I had to guess, I would say this airport is probably about 1,500 feet above sea level. Glide slope's looking a little bit low, but I'm okay with that as long as I can clear these trees up ahead. Should be good. Alright, let's get some more rudder action here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bern, Switzerland. And they would have to put one lone tree right there. Seriously? Alright, well, we cleared it. We're good. And hey, look at that. Runway 32. Called that one. Alright, let's bring her in. Alrighty, folks, we are down, and we're going to taxi off to the right here. Excellent flight, excellent landing, and like I said, welcome to Bern. Okay, now, the fun part is going to be trying to figure out where in the heck to park. I'm thinking over there is rather picturesque, so we're going to work with that. We'll put our flaps up full. And Miss Pam, I'm going to invade your personal space again. Turn off the landing lights. Totally missed it there. There we go. Got the landing lights. So our taxi lights are still on. And we'll pull up in front of the terminal. We can call this episode done. This is a rather beautiful terminal, though. I have never been to Bern in any flight simulator. This is my first time coming here. And you are bearing witness to the awesomeness that is Orbx. This is really freaking cool. I am loving this. Wow, look at that. Let's go outside and check it out. Okay, I'm thinking we have a parking spot right over there, so I'm going to swing us around if you don't mind. And I'm going to pull us up in this spot here. What is this? G2. Okay, G2 is now our official parking spot. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Perfect. All right. So yeah, Bern is amazing. I love Bern. Okay. And let me get our parking brake on. There we go. Alrighty, folks, so that is it. We have just made the journey from Buochs, or Buochs, however it's actually pronounced, to Bern. And we've been flying through IPACS, Switzerland, with Orbx Cultivation on top. I will remind you that IPACS Switzerland is a DLC add-on, so it is payware. But the Orbx Cultivation is free. And oh my god, do they work perfectly together. Okay, so now that we have accomplished that, I'm going to go ahead and kill our mixture. And we are going to call this episode done. So thank you, as always, for watching. This has been BelGeode. I have been flying in Aerofly FS2 with my lovely co-pilot, Miss Pam, and, of course, my squeaky chair. Gotta love the squeaky chair. If you enjoyed what you've seen, please feel free to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will be back another time with some more Aerofly goodness. Alrighty, folks, I will chat with you later. Ciao!